This is Edible Economics, bringing you the important topics of our times as we turn noisy headlines into bite-sized issues you can actually digest. This program is for information only, not investment advice. Here's Andrew Tang.
Hello everyone. Today we're going to do a deeper dive into jobs data and the biggest surprise beneath job loss data, why businesses formation might be the most underrated economic indicator that really nobody talks about. Okay, so every month we hear another headline. For example, 108,000 layoffs, job openings are falling, hiring is slowing, and it feels like labor market is weakening, right? And as if there were only the statistics that you look at, you'll probably conclude that the economy is heading into serious trouble, perhaps into a recession. But what if I told you there is another data set, a data set that almost nobody talks about, one that suggests that many of the layoff workers aren't unemployed at all. They are becoming entrepreneurs. They're forming LLC. They're launching consulting firms. They're creating agencies, they're opening online businesses, and they're becoming independent contractors. Today, I want to show you why new business formation data might be the most important and most overlooked economic data in America. Because beneath the layoffs, a completely different economy is emerging. Why layoffs make such a big headline. Now, layoffs are easy to measure. Every so often, companies announce job cuts. The Bureau of Labor Statistics report payroll growth. The media loves these numbers because they're dramatic. Last year, approximately 1.26 million jobs were cut, announced by U.S.-based employers. This year, same data estimated to be around 443 as of early July. Now, I'll give you a few examples. For example, Microsoft is laying off 4,800 workers. It was announced on July 6, about 2.1% of their workforce. That's about 3,200 workers that are in their Xbox and gaming division. So it's largely related to the gaming division. Meta is another company, formerly known as Facebook. They're laying off about 4,700 to 4,900, just shy of 5,000 U.S. workers. And that's announced or effective July 22nd. Notices were sent out to states across like California and Washington as part of a broader restructuring of about 8,000 global workers or roles. And that's roughly about 10%. And earlier before, they were also announcing about 1,500 workers that are going to be laid off from Reality Labs. Remember Deep Blunder with, their virtual reality or virtual space, right? That's what Meta. Volkswagen, up to 100,000 jobs were planned to be cut as of June 27th. You probably heard this before, and that includes potential plants closure amid restructuring. Oracle, it's another company, 21,000 employees over the past 12 months, and that's roughly about 13% of their workforce reduction. And they blame it on their excuse is the ongoing AI related efficiency effort. Now, another company, not tech related, British American Tobacco, 9,000 jobs are going to be cut, which is about 20% of the workforce, also AI transformation related. Intuit, the maker of the TurboTax software, 3,000 job cuts. So you get the idea. Then we learn about job openings. They keep declining to roughly about 6.5 million. So naturally, people conclude, hey, the labor market is falling apart. But here's the problem. Payroll data measures traditional employment. It doesn't fully capture people who leave payrolls to work for themselves. So it misses many of the new businesses during the early stages, and that's a huge blind spot. The data almost nobody watches. Now, let's look at something very different. Every time somebody forms an LLC, files an incorporation paperwork, or creates a partnership, or legally register a business, that gets counted. This is called new business formation data. Now, unlike a payroll survey, this captures entrepreneurial activities almost immediately. And here's what the data shows. In January this year, 2026, it recorded roughly about 540,000 new business formation. By May, monthly formation reaches nearly 559,000. And the first 5 months of this year, 2026, produced about 2.9 million new businesses. And this is the strongest 5-month start on record. Think about that. While everybody is talking about layoffs, America is quietly produced over 500,000 new businesses in a single month. That changes the story dramatically. Why layoffs and business formation rise together. Now, at a first glance, these numbers seem contradictory, right? Now, how can layoff increase while business creation is also booming? Well, they're actually connected. When the labor market tightens, people stop waiting for somebody else to hire them. Instead, they hire themselves. The HR executive article makes an excellent point here, and I'll have that on the screen. When fewer traditional jobs opportunity exists, people begin filing LLCs, becoming consultants, freelancers, and independent contractors instead. Think about what has changed over the last decade. Starting a new business now, today, is much easier than ever. You don't need an office space. You don't need a storefront. You don't even need employees. One laptop, internet access with AI tools, and a registered LLC, for example, that's often enough. Technology changed entrepreneurship. Now, 20 years ago, losing your job often meant unemployment. Today, it may mean independence, okay? So artificial intelligence helps people with proposals, build websites, create logos, market products, manage bookkeeping, develop software, and customer acquisition costs have fallen dramatically. Okay, so cloud computing removed massive startup costs. There's no clunky machines that you must set up. Servers is such a word of the yesteryears, okay? Social media also gives free marketing. Payment platforms let you sell anything worldwide, and then you have companies like Shopify to help you, right? So the barrier to entrepreneurship have collapsed greatly. So when highly skilled workers leave a large company, they don't often disappear from the economy. They become competitors. Why payroll data misses this? Now, this is really interesting because traditional employment statistics were designed for a different economy, right? An economy dominated by large employers like factories, banks, retail chains, corporate offices. Now, today's economy, they look very different, right? Millions of Americans generate an income through consulting, digital agencies, YouTube, Etsy, Amazon, software, for example, coaching, right? Content creation, AI services, and contract work. Now, many of these businesses begin with just one person. Payroll surveys won't immediately recognize them, and business formation data will. And that's why I believe these two data sets needs to be viewed together. What does this mean for investors? Now, why should I care? Why should you care? Why should investors care at all? Well, because new business become tomorrow's employers. And today, one-person consulting companies may hire 5 people next year, 20 people 5 years from now, 50 people a decade later. And every Fortune 500 company started somewhere, and quite often it started exactly the same way. So as one business, strong business formation tells us several things. Entrepreneurial confidence remain high. Capital is still alive and well, especially in the US. Innovation continues, and people believe opportunity is still exists. Now that's bullish on the long run. It also explains why corporations' layoffs, they don't always translate into recession. Workers aren't disappearing. They are just relocating. The broader economic picture. Now, what does it all mean when everything is perfect? No, everything is not perfect. Some businesses will fail and most won't hire any employees at all, and some exist only as a side hustle. Other replaces lost income rather than create new wealth. But that's always been true. Now, the important takeaway is this. If you only watch layoffs, you're only seeing half the picture. Now, if you also watch new business formation data, then you begin to see where the talent is flowing. As today, it's flowing towards entrepreneurship. So, in conclusion, the American economy is always reinventing itself. Today, the transformation isn't happening inside Fortune 500 companies only. It's happening inside home offices, coffee shops, garages, and laptops across the country. Now, the headlines focus on job losses, but beneath those headlines, hundreds of thousands of Americans are quietly creating something new. And that's why I believe new business formation data deserve to be one of the core indicator every investor should follow. Because it doesn't just tell us jobs have been disappearing, it tells us the next generation of jobs may be created. Now, thanks for watching this. If you find this discussion valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and share with somebody that you care about. And until then, I'll see you on the next one.
The views expressed on Edible Economics are for informational purposes only and do not constitute an offer to buy or sell any securities. Market conditions can change without notice, and past performance is never a guarantee of future results. Investment involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Andrew Tang and Turner Financial Group Incorporated do not provide tax, legal, or accounting advice. You should consult with your own professional advisors before making any financial decisions. Turner Financial Group is an SEC-registered investment advisor. For more information, please visit advisorinfo.sec.gov. Advisory services are only provided where properly licensed and under a formal client service agreement.